every year we try to talk about something that's new or different, highlight an aspect of the ministry at St. John Divine. Last year, of course, we had the Ed Brown inauguration of the Ed Brown Award, and the year before that it was the Task Force for Growth and the move of the Banner Building. This year, one of the biggest changes and biggest improvements in ministry at St. John Divine has been the media, and our media and tech specialist would like to do a little presentation of what's going on and what you can look for and how you can help this ministry. So, Tristan.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for those who are on the live stream and watching the recording. Ed Brown, I hope you're watching because I know you will. I am, of course, speaking for our video offerings from this year. And if we can switch to the slides up there. Good job, Booth. I believe in you. All right. And I'm coming a little boomy there. All right. So, we got it? All right. So, as you can see from the title, this is a showing of our ministry through video, its growth, and how we can improve. But first, let's pat ourselves on the back on our current achievements. We started offering videos on YouTube in May of 2018 and have a total of about 3,650 views. For 2019, we are running around 2,600 views, and about 550 of those are live streams. I also like to point out that we have currently gained 23 subscribers, 18 of which came from this year alone. But all that's just numbers, so what does that actually mean? In 2019, we gained about 70% more views than we did in 2018. I do want to give a small caveat that 2018 only had a little bit more than half a year to gain views and viewership, but I'm really excited about that improvement, and I'm really excited about how that ministry has grown. I also want to cover that more than 15% of all views, all videos watched that we have offered are live streams. Live streams have only been around since September, so that is only 4 months of views, making up 15% of all views since we've been presenting video. We have also had no growth in subscribers until May of 2019. And then from May till now, we gained, 18 subscribers, which is just incredible. I'm very ecstatic about that growth. I'm really, really proud of everyone. And I wanted to do something a little bit, step away from the mic. I wanted to do something a little bit fun, which is just cover the top 10 videos of 2019. Now, I was going to do this like one at a time, one by one, but then again, the bottom 6 are all Father Lee. Father Lee has numbers 10 through, 5? Yeah, 10 through 5 are Father Lee, which the only thing that actually kind of topped Father Lee was a new rector coming in and his welcoming from Father Kevin. So we have Father Kevin welcoming Father David Wiley into our church, which was then promptly followed by 2 more Father Lee videos. You're a very good speaker, sir. And of course, there is the coveted #1 spot, and of course, that spot can only be taken by some young new face. And it was, of course, a Wiley that took the #1 spot, but it was actually Samantha Wiley, not Father Wiley, with her precious singing of I Love. I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about that video in a minute, but that was just an impressive showing from, of course, Samantha Wiley. Now, of course, those are all just numbers, and we've had our good laugh, but what does that actually mean? Well, let's cover the obvious. Father Lee is popular. There's no getting around it. He's a very great speaker. It's always the best part when I have to make the sermon videos. You just have to sit there and listen to Father Lee. It's like I could fall asleep right now. It's so soothing. So obviously Father Lee is popular. He takes up 8 of the 10 top spots. All of the sermons are about 15 minutes or less. The only exception to the rule was Father Wiley's welcome, which was about a 30-minute video. The difference there was that was also a sermon, followed by the welcoming, followed by all the gifts. So it was a little bit of a longer video, but it was a great little video, and I hope you've seen it. And of course, I wanted to bring forth that sharing is caring. I mentioned that I was going to bring back Samantha Wiley's video again. That video was made private because I didn't feel comfortable putting that out publicly, and gave the link to Father Wiley, who then promptly shared it to everyone and everywhere, and it immediately blew up in views. It was a short video, and it was shared everywhere. And Father Wiley has clearly learned his lesson, because now he's sharing his sermons, and his sermons now in the year of 2020 are rivaling Father Lee, because sharing is caring. Now I also have the top 10 live streams. And I'm not going to do a bunch of little one-at-a-time thing. Here's all of them. And you can kind of see I've color-coded. The green are September, and red are October. And you can see that they make up most of the list, with December being very popular as well. I want to point out that all of those are Sundays, except for the 6 p.m. Christmas Eve service. That was the only exception to the rule. Now let's actually just go ahead and move on to the next. So what's our great takeaways? We have about 15 views on average for the live streams, but obviously you saw those numbers really quickly. Those are like in the 30s and such, but those make up a small portion of what we were looking at. They obviously lost steam after September. October had one of the best months, but after October, November was pretty barren. It obviously gained back steam during Christmas and Christmas Eve. Those were very popular sermons and seasons and services. But I also want to point out the Christmas season services were great. Thanksgiving Eve was one of our lowest services as far as our count. It was about 7. So I wanted to kind of point out really quickly that holidays are not a guarantee of viewership. Thankfully, it's probably because people are here. Instead of watching it from home. Now, I will try. That's a tall order for me, as some of you may know. My mom was the first to laugh. I want to point that out. So we are the ones that can make the ministry a success. As a person and a staff member, I can only promote our offerings so much, but each person here or watching, thank you for watching, this presentation on the live stream or recording can make it grow even more, because sharing is caring. I may be biased in saying this, as it was the brainchild of Father Wiley and I, but live streaming is our fastest growing outreach. And as we improve our facilities, equipment, we can make us the best streaming Episcopal church in the diocese. I want our offering to be so successful and so sought after that members of the diocese call us to find out how we did it. And I didn't get to talk too much about them because I was told 10 minutes or less. Subscribers are unsung heroes. They are the ones who legitimize us in the world, and by just being there are improving our visibility. With more subscribers, we will see more views, be given additional tools to improve our offerings, and remember that sharing our videos is the number 1 thing, but subscribing is number 2. Please do subscribe. And I just wanted to finish with one last thing. I want to let you all know that I will personally strive to improve the booth, to improve our quality, to improve our media offering, but I will always need your support. And the support of my volunteers. Obviously we have Howard and then my go-to camera guy, Tommy, and then anyone else who's been up there, such as Jim, who's been very supportive of us going forward. And so I just wanted to let you all know that together we can reach the lost, the sick, and the needy. We will grow, we will improve, and thank you for your time, and thank you for getting us to where we are today. Oh, yes, sir.
Take a moment and explain to us
Yes, sir.
what you mean by subscribing.
So,
We don't know what you're talking
Fair enough. And I did mention that I wish I kind of thought about it. Thank you. Gave it a little bit more time because I felt like I did rush that portion. Subscribing is a function of YouTube. We do all of our video offerings through YouTube. YouTube is a Google product, so anyone who has a Gmail or Google account, any of those kind of things, have essentially an account for YouTube. Now, when I say subscribing, if you go to a YouTube page, you can see the video right under it, you can see the title, detailed description right under that title, and on the right of the title, or left, depending on how you're viewing the screen, you can see a box that says subscribe. If you hit that subscribe box, it will notify you in the future whenever we come out with a video, whenever we come out with a live stream, whenever the next thing has been scheduled. It is probably the easiest and fastest way to keep track of what we're doing. Did you want to say something, sir? Yes, sir. No. It is free. It is part of Google's many different free offerings, mostly because all their money comes from advertising. There are some people who can do some paid stuff. What we offer on YouTube is free.
Just to add one point about the social media aspect that Tristan was speaking about. If you see a video that you like that Tristan produces and posts to social media, live streams, sermons, any other video that St. John Divine puts out, if you share that video to your own Facebook feed, your own social media feed, that's one way that it will bump up the number of views. But what it also does is the more views that these videos get, the more prominent they're placed on people's news feeds. So the more views, the more likes, the more action that these videos get, the more prominent St. John Divine is to the outside public. And that's kind of the whole point of doing social media, is to get our names out there to other people. So next video that you see, if you like it, please share it to your own news feed, and then it'll exponentially grow the number of views that all of these videos are receiving.
I have been a little bit sick lately, but I do plan, the past week I haven't been in the office except for one day. I have been a little bit sick, but I do plan to put together a workshop going over some of these things, specifically how to watch the live stream, how to watch past live streams. I know that has been a bit of a concern. So I do plan to do a workshop. I'm thinking mid-February. I have to talk with the boss. I don't know. Gotta get approval and such. Yes? I had a lovely time talking with you. So someone who was just, that was me. So someone was just mentioning how I'm very happy to hear that. Someone was mentioning they watched from New York the live stream and used the live chat, which on streaming there is a live chat function, and had a lovely conversation with this individual who was coming from New York.
Other questions?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I don't know that number offhand. I don't know that number offhand. It's something I can find out real quick, though.
If I remember seeing the last set of analytics correctly, I think we have 400 likes. Now, of them, how many are actually following our Facebook page? I'd have to check the analytics. It's not a big number, but it is growing. All of our analytics are in the positives over the last 8 months.
I think you've got a good idea. A lot of people out there who don't realize, anybody on Facebook, they don't realize they can follow St. John Divine.
For your knowledge, we have. Yes, ma'am. To answer your question, I just looked it up real quick for you. We have 248 people that like our Facebook page and 252 who follow it. So follow it is how you on Facebook will receive updates whenever we post new pictures, new videos, new stories, events. Following the Facebook page is a really good way to get those updates.
Is following the Facebook page different than subscribing to YouTube? Do you have to do both?
Yes, Facebook, it's its own entity. They are not part of Google, so they are their own separate entity. So they are not the fastest way to get access to videos. We don't really post any of the live streams on the Facebook. We just post the sermons. But if you're interested in the video offering, YouTube's where it's at. If you're interested in the going-ons of St. John Divine, Facebook's where it's at. And feel free to like both. You know, like Facebook, follow Facebook, subscribe to YouTube. Just have both. That's what I do. It makes my life easier.
So your homework for tonight is to go home and like St. John Divine on Facebook.
All right. Thank you for your time.
One of the next steps in our evolution is I would like us to get to the point where our equipment is sophisticated enough that we can start broadcasting live remotely. In other words, I would like our Sunday morning services, perhaps we would have a satellite at Freedom Plaza. So people who could not get to church could still come down maybe to the auditorium, and while this service is going on live here, they could be part of the service. We could have lay Eucharistic ministers there, and when it comes time for communion, they could receive communion at the same time as the rest of their St. John Divine family. The possibilities of this then open all sorts of doors for us as we continue to try to look beyond our walls and reach out to others. But that to me is the most significant thing that we could start doing in the very close future. Now, our cameras are so old that we can't get parts for them. And when we bought them, they were old. They were not brand new, state-of-the-art cameras. They were old. We've been quietly asking people if they could help with the video ministry. To do a full upgrade, it was roughly around $50,000. That's not a small number, I know. But in order to do the kinds of things that, one of the things, if you notice on Sunday morning, as we come in, you have a choice. You can either watch me on TV or, anybody, or we can have the video, the slides up for the song. If I'm watching at home, I want to see people walking in, I want to see the procession, and maybe we could superimpose the words to the song over that, as opposed to having it one or the other. So things like that, as a matter of fact, we got an anonymous letter. It didn't have to be anonymous because everything that was in the letter was exactly what we thought. It wasn't anonymous. Oh, we do know. Okay. Well, thanks for signing your name. But it's all the things we know that are wrong with the system. And, there's no problem that a few, tens of thousands of dollars can't cure. That said, we've already received $5,500 towards the upgrade. And I would like to be able to finish that sooner rather than later to help honor the people that have already stepped up and done that. And that's just 2 people. Yes, you had something else? And why don't you, Jim, because no one can hear your deep voice.
No, I have no reason. Okay. There we go. A very dear friend of mine came in here with me several years ago to help me solve a problem in the system. And he took a look around, and he saw those cameras, which were chosen and installed by whoever had the contract on it at the time the church was built. His comment to me concerning those cameras was very straightforward. I have seen better cameras than that in parking lots. They do need to be replaced.
Wait 1 second. All right. I did want to add one more note to that. That is a very big project, which includes upgrading the cameras first and foremost, upgrading the equipment that they attach to, these screens, these projectors. It's about upgrading all of that. Mind you, we get about halfway there, we're going to start upgrading the cameras immediately. Cameras need to go first, and the equipment attached to them. So it is a project, it's a big project that is cut up into phases. So as the money comes in, and even if we haven't reached our goal wholeheartedly yet, we will start that project. And so that way this live stream will get better. That picture right there will get better. It'll be a long process, but it will be a very helpful and important process.